Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of How to Play Paintball. Before we started, I did want to say thank you so much for everybody. My wife and I had our second anniversary, so that's why last week we didn't have a video. So I appreciate you guys understanding that. We did the adult thing and went to Disney, so we went and did that. But I wanted to go ahead and answer the questions. This is probably going to be a two-part, maybe three-part series. You guys had sent in some questions, so I want to be able to spend time on each of those questions. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into it. The first question comes from Dallas Greenswig. Hey Greg, I'm a snake player and I get shot off the break a lot and in the pack from over top. Also, do you have any tips on shooting faster or finger strength? If you're shooting semi, honestly, it's just practice. I mean, I've sat there on the desk and kind of tapped my finger when I was still in school. It's just practicing is really all that it is. Everybody is pretty much ramping now. All the leagues worldwide are pretty much going over to the Millennium style ramping, so you really only need one finger to shoot 10 balls a second. As for getting shot off the break, it's really hard to say without me seeing you. It could vary. It could be the way that you run to the bunker or run to snake. Maybe you're not fast enough. Maybe you're not changing how you're getting into the snake. If you're running deeper, which is further away, and then kind of crawling up to it, or if you're running really shallow and it's like the beam is right here and you slide right next to it. It's really tough to say. As for the getting shot in the pack, that's something that I'd like to do a video more in depth later on. We'd gone over it a little bit, I believe, in an earlier video. But the way that you crawl up, especially with the beams, the height that they are now, it can be tough. So that's just going to take practice, and ask your teammates or ask people, hey, can you just watch me crawl down snake, or ask somebody at the field, because then they can tell you, okay, the level that you were at was good, or oh, I could see your pack the whole time. And that, again, it's just going to take practice. I'm sorry I can't really say anything more than that. So practice. So next question comes from John Cassidy. What changes do you want to see from the NXL next year? I really like what the NXL did in the past, well, this past season in 2015. The only recommendations that I would say is train the refs more. I know at World Cup there was a lot of refs that it was their first time actually reffing like an NXL event or like a national event, people that just got picked up, and there's going to be certain things that a more experienced ref wouldn't have issues with. I know I got called out, or I thought somebody was calling me out and they were saying something to somebody else, but they were doing it from across the field. Like I was on Dorito side, they were on Snake side. Even one of my teammates getting a penalty for something that shouldn't have been a penalty. It's just things like that where somebody that's more experienced is going to have an easier time differentiating of, okay, this is a penalty or this is not a penalty. As for other changes, I like the venues that they have for this year. I'm hoping it's good. Usually it's going to rain no matter what. It kind of just seems to be the thing with paintball. But I know that they were trying to see, during this part of the year, is this a time that it's the rainy season or not? And when is a drier time and more hospitable weather. Vegas as the first event is great. It's never going to rain there, or if it does, it's super light. So, I mean, I think the NXL started off really good. If you guys have watched that Dynasty documentary, that was one thing, again, with the reffing, that when Kyle Spica came around and shot Archie once in the pack and got an overshooting penalty, that's the kind of stuff that they need to address with their refs. Now, you don't want it's tough because you want to have that Goldilocks zone of not being too strict, but not too light on penalties. So I guess that would be it, but that's just going to come with experience, and maybe trying to get some more experienced refs that have done stuff before coming in to help out and teach new players. I'm not really sure. I've never reffed a national event, so I'm not sure what that would be, but I like what they're doing. I kind of feel like just keep doing what you're doing. that's about it. All right, so next question comes from Colin H. He asks, how do you tell when to make a move on the field and when you should when you should be staying in your current bunker, or is it best to always try to move up? It's really tough to say that. I mean, it's always good to try to pinch out players. Or basically, if you think about it, the game starts like this, and you want it to get like that. So basically, you're pinching out players that, whether it's you shooting them or shooting at somebody so that they have to tuck in this way and get shot this way, or vice versa. You want it to be very difficult for the other players to be able to live. I mean, really, when to move up, it's super tough to say when, because every situation is different. There might be times that you want to stay where you're at and just shoot a lane. I mean, if you're just trying to kill time and there's no point in you trying to move up and you're just trying to let them make the mistake, it's up to you. But I personally think it's always better to try to move up and to try to be more aggressive. But like I said, there are going to be times where I'm going to want to stay in the bunker that I'm at and just shoot a lane, and that's it. So that I'm preventing players from moving up or killing time off the clock, because there's that as well. So it's really tough to say. I think that the more, and I do want to do more critique videos where I critique myself, and that's the type of thing that you would be able to see is, okay, I should have moved up here, or I should have done this, that type of thing. So sorry to not answer your question, but answer it at the same time. It depends, and I really hate that answer, because I know that you want to have more of a definitive answer, but it really does depend on the field layout, who you're playing, what's going on in the match. If you're trying to do something, if it's a practice, and you're trying to figure out something, I practiced with the team, and it was okay. We were playing aggressive in the morning, and then by the afternoon, it was like, okay, let's actually sit back more and figure out how to play super defensive. So it depends. All right, so next question comes from Hayden Cherry. Are stainless steel inserts worth it? And I'm guessing you're talking about the Freak inserts for the Freak barrel kit or the Super Freak barrel kit. To be honest, I've used the colored ones. I've never had them go bad. I'm sure stainless steel probably lasts longer, but I mean, if you're cleaning your stuff, I think you should be okay. So Declan Graham asks, where are you located? Classified. No, actually, I'm in Central Florida. If you look on a map and you see, I guess you guys looking at me this way, Tampa over here and Orlando here, I'm in a little town called Winter Haven. So I'm like 40 minutes to Disney, 45 minutes to Disney, and like 45 minutes to Busch Gardens. So it's about the same, pretty much right in between Orlando and Tampa. But usually I'll play at Florida Tracks and Trails down in Punta Gorda, or I'll practice at Central Florida Paintball in Lakeland. I mean, I might periodically go somewhere else, but those are the two main ones that I go to. So guys, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I do want to keep doing these, but only if you guys want to do them. So please put in the comments if this is something that you'd like to keep seeing, even just putting other questions. I'm more than happy to answer them in the comment section, or if we're going to do one in the future, you can always just save your question. It's up to you. But I do try to stay very active in the comment section and try to answer questions and whatnot. Before we end it off, I did want to give a quick shout out to Paintball Performance. They are over in the UK, but they've been supporters of How to Play Paintball for a while now. And I know that they have like a marker service center, some other things. They have a blog and whatnot. So guys, please go over there, check out their site. It's paintballperformance.co.uk. I'll put the link down here for you. And yeah, just support those that support us. And as always, guys, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.